It's one of those things where you always gotta back yourself to just do well in specific situations. And for me, it's been like that my whole life.
Patrick Agyemang! Hey, Patrick.
What's up?
Listen, first and foremost, we would prefer to do this show with you than Charlie Davies. We just have to get it out there. We're just going to get ahead of it. How are you doing, Pat? You look great.
Yeah, man, I'm good. Each day is good. I'm enjoying myself and everything's going well.
Okay, so you and I were talking before the show started. You're coming off a hernia surgery. I had one of those as well, and they are very painful. Where are you in that recovery? And, I guess Tone's had one as well.
Two.
I had two.
We all had two, huh?
Yeah.
We all had two.
So just so everybody knows, if you can't see this, I have like a scar for life. It's like V for Vendetta right above. I guess I call it my nether region. Anyway, we don't need to get into the details so much. But Patrick, where are you on that recovery, and when can we expect to see you playing for Derby?
Yeah. So I think I'm just around 3 weeks of having the surgery. So right now it's I'm just getting up to the loads, the running, the cutting, and getting back to just feeling myself. It's feeling like myself. The area still feels very tight, and there's muscles around my abductors and groins that are still weak. So I'm trying to strengthen that up. But hopefully, in a month or so, definitely we'll be back. It's just I don't know the exact timing.
Sure.
Yeah, looking forward to getting you back on the field here. With this downtime, obviously we're coming off the Gold Cup. You're about to go to preseason. You make the move. With this downtime, have you been able to at least for a minute just take a breath and go, "Holy cow, man! What a whirlwind of a summer I just had."
Yeah. I mean, it's been crazy. A lot's been going on. A lot of great opportunities and just great experience for myself. But yeah, I had a couple of days to be with my family, my friends, and just to relax and just kind of recap of what just happened. Like we got to recap what just happened, and seeing the journey has been crazy.
So Pat, what I love about your journey is that back in the 2023 MLS Super Draft, you got selected by Charlotte in the 12th spot, and you actually started with the Crown Legacy, right? MLS Next Pro team. And at each stop, even in college, you just continued to prove yourself. It's almost, and I had a kind of similar career, so I'm really excited to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Where I got my opportunity, and it took me a little while to get comfortable, not too long, 5-6 months to make sure I could prove myself, that I could hold my own. And then once I did, I started to take bigger steps. And so for you, Crown Legacy to Charlotte FC, parlay Charlotte FC into getting a sniff and a chance, and then a legitimate chance this past summer to lead the line for the U.S. in the top. And now you're making the move to Derby. It just feels like every single time you get the chance to prove yourself at another level, you continue to do that. What is it about that mentality or that style or I don't even know how to explain it, but how do you take those opportunities and make the most of them?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you always gotta back yourself to just do well in specific situations. And for me, it's been like that my whole life. When you get a chance, you just want to take it and run with it. Sometimes you get frustrated, of course, because if it doesn't go well, you're just like, it's normal. It's normal.
I know those days.
But for me, it's always been that way. Whenever I see a chance or sniff at a chance, I'm just thinking to myself, Pat, snatch it and run. So that's how it's been for me, and it's been going well so far.
Yeah, I want to stick with this sort of little hiatus you have right now, right? Of course, you're rehabbing and doing all stuff. You don't have the pressures of the training every day. And then, because I'm really curious when this happens, have you sat down and gone through videotape now a little bit more maybe than you would, or thought about, hey, these are the areas I need to be better in hold up play. I need to do this or make a run. Now you have a little bit more time to kind of improve on some of the things that, of course, the physical part, we're always doing that, but the things that you don't get a chance to do on a normal basis.
Yeah, of course. For me, you get to look at how you play and look at the areas you wanna improve on. And it's been, watching training, watching film, watching clip back. It's just looking at, especially myself, I look at things where you watch other players do or other position or other people playing your position, and you see what their tendencies are, especially with the movement off the ball and all these things. And now I'm trying to add all those layers into my game and just make my game as complete as possible as I can make it. So for me, it's every day I learn. Every day I try to find new ways. And with the staff here, as I'm getting closer, they're always telling me we're going to continue to creep you into more video, more just training into just knowing what we want you to be great at and things that we think you need to get better at.
Yeah, there's some value there, Tones. I think I know where you're going, where you kind of have a soft landing into this opportunity with Darby because you can kind of take everything in without the pressure of having to perform right away. And I think there's a lot of value in that, and especially in the way that your career's gone, that you can kind of ease your way into this next step. So I'm excited to see you take full advantage of it, and we know that you will. So we're excited about that. I guess we had I wanted to bring this up. So we had Damian Downs on our last show a couple days ago, and he said that he hung out with you and Alex Freeman a ton during the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
And he may or may not have said that he's going to score more goals in the championship this year than you, Pat. How do you, I'm just kidding. He didn't actually say that, but do you think you're going to get more goals than Damian Downs this season in the championship, Pat? That's the big question we want answered.
Hey, I mean, for me, I'm trying to score as much goals as possible. I'm trying to be the Golden Boot winner if I can. So that's my goal.
I love that.
Pat, where do you see your game right now, and where you have to improve? Obviously, you got a sniff of what international football looks like over the last year. You're going to get an idea of the championship, right? And we covered here. We're going to see you every single week. We covered at the channel and at the network. But where, from a personal standpoint, are you thinking, okay, and between now and the World Cup, this is where I need to improve?
Yeah. I think, movement off the ball, like being quicker off the ball, and like checking and checking too, like that. Just the separation between myself and defenders is something I want to get way better at. And of course, when the ball is into my feet, holding the ball, turning quick, making plays, like with the efficiency and speed. I think that's something I want to get better at, but I know I will, because, you work on those things and you work on it each day, day out. And I think as long as I just continue being myself, I know it's going to, get better. But those are the things definitely for me. I want to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of that, because what's interesting about your particular story is that, a month ago, you're getting information from the Charlotte FC coaching staff, or maybe 2 months ago. And then last month, you're getting from Mauricio Pochettino and the U.S. coaching staff. And now you're going into Derby County, and all those asks are probably a little bit different in terms of playing style. And is there any common themes that you're getting from all these coaches that not necessarily need to improve upon, but where they want you to continue to maybe make a strength, a super strength?
Yeah, I mean, all of them know, like, I like to, get in behind and running behind. They know that's one of my main strengths. But it's, the build-up play, the combination, link-up, and all those things is where I myself want to get way better at, because I feel like if I can add as much things to my toolbox as possible, it just can make me as complete as possible. I got the frame, I got size, strength, and all these things, and speed. And, I also, being clinical with both feet, you just got to, like, obviously train that and practice that. So that's also areas every player wants to get better at. But for me, where I always want to improve is that, ball into me, play it off, set, get in the box, all these things is where I want to be like how a 9 would operate, and then add all the rest of my things to the game.
What was the biggest thing Mauricio and the group left you with after the World Cup? Because we know they're always leaving people with, sort of homework assignments, if you will.
Yeah. It's just like I said, like you gotta read players, how players play. You gotta read their teammates, understand the relationships, and I think you build that relationship with your teammates. Then you kind of know their tendencies, and then you kind of operate off of them, and they know your tendencies, and they try to help you succeed. It's the same for me, and what they said. It's just I've seen it, I've been around it now to international level. Now it's knowing what I need to do, which is like ball comes into me, hold the ball up, especially when we're under pressure, being the outlet, being a outlet that we can rely on. And that's what I want to be.
So, Pat, we saw it a few times during the Gold Cup, but do you wish you would have spent more time on the field with Damian Downs and the 2-striker system? Let's pretend the cameras aren't on. We know that you have a good relationship with him.
No one's watching.
Nobody's watching. It's just us. We're just talking. Would you have enjoyed that? Or do you like playing in a 2-striker system?
Yeah. I like playing any system, but 2-striker system, you have someone right next to you can combine with. And Dame is a good player, and he's also like one of my close guys. So we have a relationship off the field, and when you build a relationship on the field, it's just gonna be even better. So obviously it was cool having moments with him, but at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control. And I think as time goes, potentially we could have some partnership at some point.
Just to follow up on that, Tones, I'm going to go. Is there like a group chat going on? Because there's a lot of American strikers in the championship right now. We got Haji Wright, we got Dame, we got Daryl Dike, Charlie Kellman just making the move up to Charlton. Josh Sargent obviously was team of the season last year in the championship. Is there any communication between all of our American strikers over there?
Not that I know. Maybe they do have a.
Okay, we got to get that figured out. That needs to happen.
Yeah, we got to get a strikers. We'll tell you, strikers in the championship. Make it simple so you guys know what it is. Pat, who are some guys that you modeled your game around? Right, obviously a bigger striker. Strength is part of your game. I imagine those types of guys. But who are they?
Yeah, I definitely liked watching like players like Didier Drogba growing up, and like Thierry Henry. Just the way their movement. They could keep the ball, hold the ball, and then going forward, they're fast, they're quick, finish both feet, like they're tricky, like all these things. I've grown up watching players like that, and I've always wanted to be like a player in that realm as well. So obviously, this is who I looked up to.
I got to play against both of those guys, and they're both excellent choices. Just in their fluidity. And what I loved about them in particular was that if their plan A wasn't on, how quickly they could get to plan B or plan C. I mean, they're just so decisive in those areas of the game. So yeah, perfect.
Unpredictable strikers. I like that.
Oh yeah, and they're off the ball movement too. When to run and when to maybe stay. Right, how playing off the back shoulder of a center back, which always pissed me off as a center back. But they were some of the best players in the world for a reason.
Patrick, I will say this: you would have loved to have played against Jimmy. He was my teammate. You would have loved it.
Here we go. All right.
You think so?
Listen,
oh yeah, 100%.
Off the show. I don't have time for this plan right now. All right. So a couple last questions for you, Pat. We really appreciate your time. So once you get back, and we can't wait to see you on the field here in about a month's time, or in and around a month. We know we're not going to hold you to any hard and fast dates here. What are you like? What are your goals and aims for this particular season? I guess on the club level, because we obviously know that you want to parlay that into making the World Cup roster.
Yeah, of course. For me, I just want to, obviously I want to adjust. I want to adjust the level, adjust to everything. And I want to be a reliable player. I want to be available. I want to be like consistently playing. And of course, when it comes to like my game, I just want to, be that guy that the team relies on. They know they could trust in me as whatever position, whatever, like obviously I'd love to play the 9 and be here straight, like being that guy up front, and making the plays happen, scoring goals, assisting, creating havoc up front, like the way I like to play. And I just want to carry that into obviously the summer.
All right. June 12th, 2026. What will Patrick Agyemang be doing?
Getting ready for the game.
I love that.
I love it, man.
I love it. I love it.
Good for you, man.
All right, Pat. So here's our last question. It's tradition here for our show. What is your best story of a jersey swap? If you have one, or maybe we've had stories where people get turned down as well. Like, who's your best jersey swap?
Yeah, I got one. It's a Busquets.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a flex.
So we played. I want to say around like July 7th, 2024. Miami came and played against us in Charlotte, and like, initially I'm thinking to myself like, I want a jersey swap, because before I really wanted Busquets the first time I played against them in the Leagues Cup, but I didn't think about asking them until after. So then as the game's going, I'm playing really good, and then I end up scoring like in the first half. And we were doing a corner kick, and we were talking, and I told, like, before I scored, I told Busquets, I was like, we could swap jerseys. And then he was like, if you score, I'll give you the jersey. And I said, okay.
What was he thinking? Why would he ever say
that? Yeah, and he was like laughing and stuff, and I was like, okay, I got you. And then I think I scored maybe like the 40th minute or something to tie it up 1-1. And like, I think, we come in for second half, and I looked at him, and he just like smiled at me, like something relaxed. So the game's going, it's very intense. It's like a close game. And then the 94th minute, I get a red card. So I'm like, I go to the locker room, and I'm just like, Pat, what have you done? Like that was, you lost your head or whatever. And then I think about the jersey, and I'm like, I ruined it. I was like, I ruined it. So then we play them again in like September, and in my mind, I'm like, Pat, don't do anything stupid. Just get the jersey, call it a day. So I told him again, and I was like, you know, like, so he said, you're supposed to get it last game, but you got a red card. And then we laughed, you know. And then after we're going, like the game's over, and he just said like, oh, like meet in the locker room. And then I've been in the locker room, we swapped jerseys, and then he like dapped me up and said good game, and we kept going. And I was just like, finally we're good. We're good.
That's a great story. We don't always get good thorough answers like that. We appreciate you, Pat. Why Busquets though? It seemed like you were pretty set on getting his.
Yeah, I just grew up watching him a lot. You know, I like watching Barcelona growing up, and he just played so, like, it seemed as if he was so calm and so simple in the game, but he was so important for the team. And like until you really watched him, you realize how important he was. So for me, it was like it was a no-brainer. I wanted to get that jersey.
I love it. Patrick Agyemang, everybody. We appreciate your time, Big Pat. We wish you the best of luck. Get back from that injury and lead Derby to glory and lead the U.S. to glory. We really appreciate you and everything that you're doing, and continued success in your development to be one of the best nines in the world. Patrick Agyemang, everybody. Absolutely love it.
Thank you so much.
What an absolute beast.